Hello, my name is Jordan Gibbs here at the Korean Technical Ed at Gull Lake High School, um, and this is cybersecurity. And in my cybersecurity class, we've been competing in Cyber Patriot. The season's over now, but uh, we figured we'd go through some Packet Tracer Cyber Patriot content. And we've just been working through the different labs and stuff. We do have a teammate that did this, but uh, we figured it's good to learn some skills ourselves. So we've just been working through. We're on like the last few labs here. We got like one more lab to do here. But today I'm going to be going over 2.9.1. Packet Tracer basic switch and end device configuration. Here's our situation. As a recently hired LAN technician, you have been asked by your network manager to demonstrate your ability to configure a small LAN or local area network. Your tasks include configuring initial settings on two switches by using the Cisco iOS and configuring IP addresses parameters on host devices to provide end-to-end connectivity. You are to use those two switches and two hosts on a cabled and powered network. So for starters, I downloaded the PDF and the lab itself, um, and this is this is a completed lab. I completed this. Uh, Everything is configured, but I think it's best if I show you a demonstration. So I'll be back with the new lab. So this is what a new lab would look like. You typically get a set of instructions here on the side, and you would get the lab itself. It's usually in logical. You could choose to move this around so you get the full screen or whatever. That's what I'll usually try to do. Or I'll print off the PDF usually, and I'll put it to the side. But for this, I will just keep it to the side. Um, so my job here is to configure this. But for starters, some tools I have used is my Notion. I use my Notion to, just take notes on all the lab work it's given me, and all the different like commands that Packet Tracer gives me. I don't take notes on all these things because it just feels repetitive if I just take notes of every single thing. But I take notes on like all the commands and stuff, like things like setting passwords for different lines, like VTY lines, which are like um, ways to get remote access to like switches and stuff like that. And privileged exec mode is just a elevated privilege in the switch. Enable secret password that gets you also a higher privilege. You got two different kinds of passwords. You got normal setting the password for privilege exec, and you got the secret password. Secret password is more secure because it encrypts the password and I believe a hash. But yeah, we got different things. Encrypting plain text passwords, which those would be like the V line or VYT lines or whatever they're called. Configuring a message of the day, things like those, saving those configurations. So those are the things I'm going to be using, along with KeyPass. Um, this is like just a pretend situation because they want you to use a kind of insecure password, but this is just like for pretend. But in a real scenario, you'd have like a more secure password, and for that, the password manager I'm using today is going to be called KeyPass. KeyPass, you just keep all your passwords in a database. It's local, not online, which is pretty secure. So yeah, getting into this lab here, we see that we gotta configure these, and if and it says configure them. You are to use two switches on a cabled on power network, and it says the requirements to configure these is to use a console connection to access each switch. I don't think that was in the notes there, so I did have to do a little bit of a YouTube video, but just to see like what that was, and it's actually this cable right here. If you try to access the switch normally, it'll say it's locked by this design, for the activity. So for what I'm just gonna do a quick little demonstration of the things I've done. So I will start off by making a console connection to from the manager to room 145. I'm just gonna do one switch just to get started. So for desktop, we obviously see we have our configurations up here. I'm not gonna go exactly by the instructions here, just because things are faster. We see at manager here, the network interface card. We want to set those IP addresses to what they want. So starters, I'm gonna do 10, 10, 10. Oh, not 10. 4. And then the subnet mask is 25, 25, 25, or 255, 255.255.0. And this is a Class C network. So for a small network, you usually have a Class C. That means that these first 3 bytes are stay the same. I forgot what I was going to say there for a second. But anyways, now that we set those, we could go on to the next steps, which is accessing the switch via the terminal of the computer. So as we see here, if we go into the switch or into the terminal of the computer, we'll see that we have access to this switch, and that is because of the console line cable, which uses a some sort of software that allows me to configure the switch. So for starters, it says I need to name it 145. So, oh, forgot I gotta get access to that. So enable, and then we're gonna go into config T, configuration, global configuration mode, which is just a higher elevated privilege. Enable itself, that is also a higher elevated privilege. So we're just going into these and configuring things. So first off, the hostname command, it's just hostname space and then the command you want to, or in the name you want to use. So hostname room 105 or 145, I mean. And as we see here, it changes the name of the switch, and it says use RX blah 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 for all switch lines. Now in reality, what I would do is I would go into here in my KeyPass, and I would just copy and paste this password in there, but unfortunately that's not how it works. So I'm just going to use the pretending that we're using those ones. We're going to use this one. So I'm going to do enable secret. Oh, not enable secret. Oh, that was a bad one. Line console 0. Gonna go into that line configuration mode first, and then we're gonna say password R, capital R 4 X E 3, and that will be our password for this console line. And then we hit enter, and then we'll do line VYT 15, so it's like saying all 15 VYT lines, which are like access to SSH and Telnet, stuff like that. Or then we're gonna go that VTY line VYT. Well, this is what notes are for. So I think I accidentally line VTY. Yep, I did mess up. It's not line VTY, it's VYT or something like that. So line VTY 15. There we go, it works now. So now we're going to set a password for this one as well. So we're going to do R4XE3. Now, again, in reality, we would probably use KeyPass here, but for the sake of the lab, I'm just going to use the password they gave me. But you do want to use a secure password for this. For any labs or like any realistic scenario, because you wouldn't want a hacker get in with a password that says password 123. But anyway, I'm going to exit out of this mode, and what I'm going to do is I'm also going to do the enable secret password. So it's an enable secret, and then the password, I think C4AJA. C4AJA. That looks like that matches up. Enter. And it seems like that set the password for that. So now moving on to that, it says encrypt all clear text passwords, and I'm pretty sure the command for that is service encrypt dash password. Nope, encrypt. I think I did it. I think I did the command wrong. But this is what notes are for again. Encrypting service password encryption. I messed up. Service password encryption. Service. Let's restart. Password dash encryption. Encrypt. I'm spelling things wrong. Encr. YP. Okay. YP. There we go. Service password encryption. And what this does is instead of displaying the passwords in a clear text and unencrypted, this will then encrypt the password in some sort of hash, I'm guessing. Do I know the hash? I do not. It could be SHA-245 or something like that. But now it's time to do the message of the day. So for the message of the day, I'm going to do MOTD or something like that. I forgot the command for this one too. Banner MOTD, and then the message. So banner MOTD, and then the message I want to display is this one. Now I'm not sure if I could copy and paste this. I'm just gonna see if I could copy and paste this message. It doesn't seem like I can, so I'm just gonna put this to the side and copy it. This is a secure system authorized access only. Banner, did I really spell this wrong again? Oh yeah, I used 3 N's. Let me go all the way back here. There you go, and that is our message of the day. And now we need to save these files to our startup config. So using our notes here, I'm gonna exit first because I can't be in this line. I gotta be in the enable. So I'm gonna copy running config start up dash config. I'm just gonna hit enter, and it says okay. So now I'm gonna do show running dash config just to verify, and we see our enable secret password. It's encrypted here, and we have our banner. Oh no, that's up there more. Our message of the day should be on here, but I don't see it. Oh, there it is. This is a secure system, authorized access only. Perfect, just what we wanted. And we see that we have our VYT lines. Oh, I did forget to do login. Oh, I gotta do that again. I made a mistake in the recording, so I gotta config T again. I do line VTY 15. And then I also got to go back to this because I did mess up. Because I just realized I'm supposed to make those login, but I think it might already be login because I saved the configurations already. But just in case, I don't want to display like false information. Uh, to set the password, you do password R4XE3, and we do login, and we do line console 0, password R4XE3, and login. Just to make sure that those are at login. If you don't do that, usually if you don't save them, it won't make it to where it's like at login. I don't think so. But exit. Well, not exit, but I think it's show. Do I not have the command name? Show running config, and then startup config, startup dash config. Show what I. Oh, it's copy running config. That's where I messed up. How did I mess? Oh, I'm in the wrong mode, ain't I? Yes, I am. Okay, so now that those are saved, we should have our first switch all configured. So if we check results, it's gonna say that we did half done. Let's see. Oh nope, I forgot. I forgot to do one thing, which is setting the IP configuration and subnet of the switch. Of course, config t. I gotta set the interface VLAN um, by saying interface VLAN 1, because that is the port or whatever that it wants me to configure. So I'm going to do interface VLAN 1. I'm going to do IP address. I think it's IP address. Yeah, IP address. And then 10.10.10.100 255.255.255.0, and then we're going to do no shutdown so that the port is up, and then we're going to exit again, exit, and then we're going to do copy that, just do that again, and then hopefully it'll say that I did. Why doesn't it say that I did that? I just did that. Fast Ethernet 0. Oh, so I figured out that's because that was reception and this is manager. So the manager is correct and the room 145 is correct. It's just the reception and the room 146 that I didn't configure, obviously. So yeah, that's how you would basically complete the lab. I didn't do it as cleanly as possible because I was kind of rushing through it because I didn't want like a 30-minute vlog, but yeah, that's kind of the process of going through a lab like this, and it's just like if you're in real life, if you had instructions for these different switches on a networking thing, or networking or local area network, and you were tasked with doing these kinds of tasks, it's just like that. So those are my that's my kind of log for that. And to verify it, all you do is like you would go to command prompt, and I believe you'd ping 10 10 dot 10 dot 10 dot 100. So yeah, it looks like I got full connectivity to that switch right there. So that's how you would verify it after saving your configurations. But yeah, that's how you would go through a lab like that. Of course, after um, doing this, I would go back to my GitHub desktop, and I would commit different changes. Changes I made, I would push those, or I mean, I commit them first and then push them. So if we go back on my GitHub, we could clearly see all my pushes from the lab I did. Um, and yeah, I think that's just about wraps up this lab. I thank you all for listening, and I hope you guys have a good day.